Hi, everyone. I just wanted to create this short clip on a topic that's been coming up quite a bit in terms of individual therapy, but also in the news recently, and that's of vicarious trauma. We're seeing a lot of it with natural disasters, especially those in Texas, and then also those just around the country, even from years ago, right? The fires in California. Also, people experience them on a daily basis in terms of maybe not natural disasters, but just traumatic incidents or witnessing traumatic incidents, car accidents, first responders, ER nurses, other personnel that are kind of on the front lines of trauma or significant bodily harm. My name is Daniel Gospodarik. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Wisconsin and Colorado, and I operate Revitalized Mental Health based here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And this topic is showing up quite often in terms of the news that we read, what we see on TV, and then we also see all these people responding, not just first responders, but also people volunteering their time, and that vicarious trauma can really start to take effect. It can also lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, which is when we're repeatedly exposed to horrific events, or even just one horrific event where we witness somebody pass away, or something that destabilizes our inner world to a point where we maybe need therapy to support changing thought processes about the world or our internal beliefs, or even just healing from nervous system dysregulation. So the vicarious trauma in and of itself is just this repeated exposure to traumatic events, to stress, high levels of stress of witnessing, right, these horrific events that have just unfolded, and trying to help or support those who are in the vicinity or those impacted by loss of others around them, loss of their material items, their homes, etc. And these symptoms can show up in terms of just fatigue, irritability, this kind of like mind-body disconnect, numbness, essentially, because what's happening inside the mind or inside the brain is so significant that our body just knows intuitively just to disconnect, because it's so overwhelming for us. So one of the things that we do with individual therapy then is also treat it as vicarious trauma, as a trauma response, because that's what it is, even though it's something different than just PTSD, or it could lead to PTSD. But even if somebody doesn't develop PTSD, but that vicarious trauma has impacted them in some way, shape, or form of how they relate to themselves, how they relate to others, or they're having flashbacks, memory issues, concentration issues, irritability, we still treat that the same as we would trauma, right? We stabilize the body, we stabilize the nervous system, and then we allow for that just natural integration to occur through somatic experiencing therapy, or through eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. We will engage in bilateral stimulation to reprocess that memory. So again, vicarious trauma can happen to anybody: police responders, firefighters, military personnel, even just people walking and seeing a horrific event because a car accident just took place, or somebody maybe got hit by a car. So really we need to be on the lookout for it, because if we, again, typically just suppress it, usually those symptoms will come back later in time. So love it if you would subscribe to the channel, and look forward to hearing from anybody who's seeking out therapy for vicarious trauma. Thank you. Bye.